When Apple announced the Airpods in 2016, the audio industry changed forever. All across the world, millions of people cut their cables to replace perfectly functional headphones for the convenience of hassle-free wireless audio, accepting whatever trade-offs that came with. Now, almost 10 years later, and the AirPods alone are a bigger profit generator than entire company giants like Nintendo and Sony. After this time, most people had to buy multiple earbuds, either due to wanting the new features or, more likely, they just died. The battery died or they just stopped working, and now your $250 earbud is landfill. And a lot of people are growing sick of this cycle and want to go back to cables. And now CrinEar, one of the biggest audio reviewers, has thrown his hat in the in-ear monitor space with his company CrinEar and its debut full production IEM, the Daybreak. I framed the opening of this video with this context because I feel like that's the strongest sales pitch for those who may not be aware of CrinEar and his products. These come at a regular sale price of 250 Australian, but I got them for around 200. With an inexpensive Bluetooth adapter like this, that brings within $20 of the baseline AirPods and a disgusting half the price of the AirPods Pro 3s, with the added benefit that these don't become e-waste the second the battery dies. In fact, you can even upgrade these if a new Bluetooth standard or an adapter with ANC gets released. And even when the battery does die, it's $40 to replace and you get to keep the actual IEM part. So we'll look out of the way, what exactly are we looking at here? The CrinEar Daybreak has a driver configuration of one dynamic driver, two balance armatures, and two microplanar tweeters. If you don't understand what that means, basically it uses multiple different drivers to give a better reconstruction across the whole frequency range, with the CrinEar listing this as 2 Hz to 40 kHz. In the box, you'll find the IEM with a semi-custom contoured solid resin shell, so it should be relatively durable, though the contoured design may be a bit polarizing. Nozzle width was a particular thing that CrinEar tried to keep down since that can be a pain point for many, and here it's 6mm. And it didn't bother me too much. Include accessories are quite nice. The carrying case feels sturdy enough to protect them, but definitely not daily pocketable. In the box, we also have a wide variety of tips, including foam and the narrowboard tips, which have been a godsend for me with my smaller ears, and a cable that I don't feel any desire to upgrade from. And it comes with an interchangeable termination, which, if you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. So how do they sound? When he announced these, CrinEar said the goal was a flat pair of speakers in a well-treated room with a little bass boost. And that's kind of exactly what they deliver. An outstanding level of neutrality with just a little bit extra fun. I think more than anything, these IEMs place me in the song and make me feel like I'm listening to the raw audiophile in my brain. Everything sounds exactly as it should be in a way that you know the artist intended. This effect of plugging the raw audio file into my brain is also aided by the way the IEMs have a more constrained soundstage. Now, while vocals and center instruments are definitely locked right in the middle, those further vocal layers and instruments still feel that sense of depth that separates them and feels like you're listening to each part of the song. Obviously, it's nothing like what you'll get with a pair of open back headphones, but it kind of works in the Daybreak's favor, giving you that intimate, natural feeling. The treble is detailed, but not overly revealing. This could be seen as a negative, but it means that most songs won't get too harsh or fatiguing if you listen for longer or at louder volumes. Bass is deep and punchy, maybe even a little bit too much for someone coming from open back headphones, but kick drums have this thumping impact and bass lines are fully extended all the way down till you can almost feel it vibrating the back of your neck. Though, if you are coming from a pair of mainstream ANC headphones like Sony XMs or Bose QCs, the bass may be lacking in pure quantity, as those things have some crazy elevated bass that kind of bleeds through the rest of the low end. But obviously a lot of people like that sound, and if that's what you're into, maybe give these a skip, or just EQ up the bass in whatever app you listen to. And that's where I think the neutrality of these headphones kind of comes through and shines, as such close adhesion to the JM1, which is the latest research of what flat sounds like, allows you to easily EQ up or down whatever you like. The biggest flaw I found while listening to these is that I would sometimes stop listening. They kind of just lack anything special or musically that makes you pay attention. It suffers a bit from that try please everyone and you'll please no one, except sound great to everyone and you won't sound exceptional to anyone. And with how personal sound is, it's really hard to recommend one product to someone without knowing what they prefer and what they listen to. But I feel kind of comfortable giving these a blanket recommendation since I think everyone would appreciate them, and those who don't quite like it can easily fix it with EQ. As mentioned before, where I think these fully shine is when you combine them with a cheap Bluetooth adapter, and then they become killer to any earbud unless you need noise cancelling. These do claim to have noise cancelling and a transparency mode, but the noise cancelling doesn't do anything from what I can tell, and the transparency mode is more like a noise floor elevation button. Though personally, I don't really like the feeling of having ANC on unless I'm on an airplane or an extremely loud environment. And honestly, the passive isolation in these is more than enough to drown out the bus or the office or someone mowing next door without leaving me completely unaware if someone's trying to get my attention or the smoke alarm is going off. I'm easily able to pocket this case and pull it out on the bus and listen to music till I get to work, though it does struggle to last most of the workday, which is not a huge deal for me as I listen one ear at a time while working, so that if someone needs to grab my attention, they can. And if one of them dies, I can just swap them. And they charge in about 30 minutes. Though, speaking of battery life, that is one thing you're going to be giving up from a mainstream solution. I'm usually able to get about 4 hours out of these at around 70% volume, so your miles may vary, but Apple claims that you can get 5 hours out of the AirPods. However, that's kind of one of the good things about this. Maybe 5 years from now, there's an adapter with 20 hours of battery life, and I only have to pay $60 for that adapter. I also find these more comfortable than regular earbuds. The contour shape works well for my head, and the hook relieves a little bit of pressure so that my ear doesn't get as sore. When you first wear them, you do notice the dangly part at the back of your ear, but you kind of get used to it and that feeling goes away. The only exception I have to this is that they do stick out quite a bit, so they're a bit uncomfortable to sleep in, which is something that some people do, and I've tried, and these don't work very well for it. Oh, and you can rest them on your ear, which may not seem like that big of a deal, but it means that you can have a conversation with someone without having to place them on a desk where you might lose them. Nerds may complain about using an IM like this wirelessly and that you need a wire to get the full uncompressed sound. But if you can tell the difference between an uncompressed file and the 999 kilobit per second LDAC that these can do, then I hope your mom's proud. Plus, most people are listening to compressed Spotify streams anyways. That's the CrinEar Daybreak. What I think is a no-brainer for anyone looking to get into personal audio but doesn't want to pay for a new pair of AirPods every time that they die. I think the sound will make nearly everyone happy, but may not be the best thing you've ever heard. I also want to make it clear that you don't need something like these to do this. Something like the CrinEar Gate, which is widely praised, will get you there for less than $100. Though that's one of the best parts about audio. It'll be good today, it'll be good tomorrow, it'll be good in 10 years. Spending more on a good pair of IEMs, but then offsetting that by paying less for the adapter, in the long run, you'll be paying less than your friend buying AirPods every 5 years. And you'll even be paying less over time for the privilege.